So we've talked a little bit about the past, some of the ways that we can be successful, but we're coming through a lot of changes over the last 10 to 15 years, especially in IT and the way that we deliver. What's going to have the biggest impact, you think, to execute on change and innovation and transformation for organizations over the next 5 to 10 years?
Ability to tell a story, because you got to know how to sell. But I don't mean sleazy used car salesman, right? You got to know how to sell, how to move people out of their comfortable seats to try something new, to get closer to that edge. I think there's a lot of things happening in technology. Some are good, some maybe not as good, but it only really depends on the integrity of people in those roles and positions, right? You can have the same technology used for good and bad, depends on the person who's making that decision and their integrity and how they feel about themselves at night when they come home or in the morning when they look themselves in the mirror. Having said that, I do believe that we're going to go over the next decade. It will start happening a lot sooner than that. We're going to go through a lot of consolidation. I think there's a lot of companies out there that are selling vaporware. I think there's a lot of companies that are really good at creating photoshopped images or really good 3-minute videos of the functions and features. And then you request a demo and you say, show me the things you showed me in the video. Oh, it's not there yet. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. There's a video all over the YouTube or all over the place that you're saying your company can do 1, 2, and 17. Show me. Give me a dummy account. Can I play around? And you realize it's not there. So there's a lot of these fake entrepreneurs. There's a lot of these fake business people who put it on their Instagram profile somewhere else. Now they think they are, Fortune 100 CEOs. And I think we need to be honest and call a spade when we see it. I also do believe that as we're moving forward, it's important to make technology, unless you're really a tech company and selling a tech product, I look at technology in kind of two distinct yet really connected ways. One, I absolutely believe that technology leaders and executives must be at the most senior table in every organization. They must be in boards. Show me a company that has board of directors and there's nobody on there with digital technical knowledge. I'm going to show you a company that's going out of business. Same thing with the senior leadership team. Now, we, people in my roles, don't always do ourselves any favors or justice. Maybe we're not relatable. Maybe we talk about ones and zeros. Maybe we talk about things that people can't understand, and therefore we're relegated to the second or third concentric circle. Now, on the other hand, I think technology, like I said, unless you're a tech company, I used to play a lot of competitive team sports when I was younger and fitter and had healthier knees than I do today. And at the end of a game, basketball, football, soccer, you name it. At the end of the game, if nobody talks about the referees, they did a good job. Technology is about making lives of people better, easier, simpler, not more complicated, not taking the same archaic manual process that has 17 steps and making it 17 steps, but it's now digital. You can do it on a screen. You've solved nothing. You've digitized that process. You didn't transform it. You didn't make it better. So ultimately, I think there's a lot of work happening down the road. Folks who have the ability, who have the technical knowledge and have the business acumen and know how to present, know how to motivate people, inspire, and tell those stories. For those individuals, I really do believe that there is no ceiling over the next decade, because there's a lot of people who are really good at one, not or good at the other. Finding those who can do both, those are the people you want. You'll always attract the top talent and then figure out a way what they need to be successful. And then most importantly, as senior leaders, be very mindful when you need to get out of their way. One of the things that, late Steve Jobs, we've all heard different stories about him that were not all great. But one of the quotes that was attributed to him that I agree with is, we don't hire the best people in the world to tell them what to do. We hire them so they can tell us what to do. And that is ego. That's confirmation bias in academic research. How many executives have you seen on top? They made the wrong turn a year or 3 or 5 ago. And now every decision, instead of owning the mistake, driving backwards, correcting that turn, nope. Every subsequent decision is made to support that wrong decision they made 3 years ago and to justify it further. That's egos. That's humility. That's courage to say, I was wrong. And I think we need more of those.
I'm loving this right now because you're actually talking almost all the same stuff that I love talking about as well. It's the storytelling and having that combo person that can talk some of the technology, but make it relatable, which is the hardest thing to find. The more we can mentor people to find that balance between technical delivery and the ability to translate it to something that's real and tangible in the world is invaluable today. But taking the ego out of it and still making it personal and making sure that we're enabling the folks around us to make the decisions that help us become successful is, again, invaluable and all around what we need to do to innovate as we keep on growing these organizations.
Absolutely. And one more thing to add on to that is I have done this in my career, and I have a lot of friends and colleagues who have done the same thing. As you're assessing people and their capabilities and what drives them and their priorities, it is really important to know when you will get the credit and when you won't. But getting credit is less important than moving the company in the right direction. So I've had many examples of my career where I would plant the seeds and water them for 6 months. And then the CEO, the president of the university, or somebody else comes and says, you know what, we need to go left and then first right. And I go, sir, you are a visionary. I'm going to go get that done. I'm on it. But the fact that I've been selling that in different ways for 6 months, it doesn't matter right now. I got what I wanted. We did the right thing for the company, for the organization, for the university. Let's just get it done. He or she can take all the credit. Let's just move on.
It goes back to that ego piece again, right? There's no need for that ego to be the one that's the champion, as long as you're making the right moves and choosing the right directions for the entire organization and for your constituents, because that's really what it comes down to still.
And people you work with really know. Like you don't need a memo or a PR story written about you. People who you work with all day, every day across the organization, they know who gets stuff done. They know who doesn't. They know who's posturing. They know who's there only for their next career move. They know who are going to put in a year or two, and they're already, 1 foot out the door, that next higher level, higher position, higher role, different market segment. They know. People know.
Yeah, you can identify it really quickly.